What's going on, everybody? It's ZBC 2001 and bringing you guys a little bit of 2v2 gameplay on a ground. Anyways, actually, I'm going to use this video to talk about Chernobyl Diaries. Last night, me and Wings went up to the movie theater in town, and we watched Chernobyl Diaries. And you know something? That movie was horrible. Don't waste your money. Don't go and see it. Now, if you want to find out why it was horrible, stick around. If you don't want a spoiler, then you know what? Click off. I appreciate you watching. Leave a like, and have a nice day. Okay, so for those of you who stuck around to find out why it was horrible, I'm going to go ahead and break you down to what kind of movie this was. This movie was, oh, let's have, like, psychotic, like, cannibalistic creature, or not even creatures, humans eating people. It was really, really stupid. It relied too heavily on jump scenes to do it. Now, there were a couple really good jump scenes. Like, there was a bear jump scene that I thought was actually pretty fantastic. They're sitting in a apartment in the town outside of Chernobyl, and they're like, they hear this racket, and they're like, what is that? And this Yuri, the tour guide, is going to look around, and all of a sudden you hear, "Rah!" and a huge bear comes barreling down the hallway, and everybody gets out of the way. Now, that was a really good jump scene. I have to give it to that. And there were a couple other really good jump scenes, but there were some that were very stereotypical of modern-day horror movies. Modern-day horror movies have gone downhill, in my opinion, in the last couple of years. Like, really hard and downhill. Because it used to be, you know, somebody survived at the end of a horror movie, which is what, you know, kind of made horror movies really fun to watch, because, you know, who was going to survive? You know, it gave you that sense of hope. But lately, I guess it goes to the state of the world, with the world that, you know, the state of the world is in. A lot of our horror movies have not had that sense of hope. So, I'm going off topic. Anyways, so they go through, and they're wandering around, and they get back to the car, and the plug wires have been chewed through. And that was a horrible shot, by the way, guys. Sorry about that. And I'm sitting here staring at these cable wires, and it's like somebody has, like, gnawed on these cable wires. How ridiculous is that? And they go through, and they're like, okay, well, we can stay here, or we can make the 12-mile hike to the checkpoint, or we can stay here overnight. Yuri's like, lock the door, we'll stay in the van. And everybody's like, no, we're gonna hike. So all of a sudden they hear screaming outside, and Yuri's like, stay here, and he grabs a gun and he goes out. And my first thought is, you know what, I don't care what kind of screaming I hear. If I'm in an area that's supposed to be deserted and I hear, like, babies crying and people screaming, I am not going to get out of a van. I'm going to stay right there where it's completely fortifiable, and I'm going to use that gun to protect us. So Yuri gets out, and one of the other characters, Chris, gets out, and he, you know, his brother follows after a while because they see gunshots. And they go through all this crap, and his brother pulls him back to the car, and, you know, there's like a chunk missing out of his leg, and his leg is broken, and he's not moving. You know, he's moving, but he's like, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, there were so many of them, and wild dogs attacked the van. Okay, so you go through all this crap. The next morning, they wake up, they head up to go find, you know, to make the hike, the 12-mile hike to the outpost, you know, get some help. So while they're wandering, they run into a pack of wild dogs, and they head back out of the way, and they find a place where there's a bunch of abandoned cars. Now, the Geiger counter's going off the freaking scale because there's so much metal, and it's been saturated with radiation. So, duh, let's not stay there. But they do. They go and they find matching spark plugs. So they contact his brother and say, hey, we're coming back. So on the way back, they're getting hunted by wild dogs, and they're running, and they fall in the water. One guy falls in the water, and he gets attacked by killer fish. I mean, this movie is so cheesy, and it's bad. It just ends horribly. There's no, like, real, like, there's useless scenes in it. Like, at the beginning, his brother picks a fight with a couple Russian guys. Stupid. Okay. They find plugs, they head back, and the van has been flipped over, and Chris and his girlfriend are missing. So they record they check the phone, which was recording, and they're like, oh, la-di-da-di-da. Anyways, they go to find Chris, and they find his girlfriend, and the whole movie just goes downhill from there. It could have just been so much better. I mean, it just slowly goes down from there. I mean, you know, eventually everybody gets killed. They end up at Chernobyl, and the military shows up, and they're like, "Oh, stop! Don't come close to us! Don't come close to us!" And they kill the one guy, and the girl ends up there, and the ending is just so stupid. It's just so typical of modern day horror movies. It really is. I mean, you expect something so much better than they've been giving of late, and they give us crap, which is kind of sad. So I don't know. I mean, even the ending was super disappointing. It's just like, seriously, guys, seriously, you threw her in the room with the cannibalistic people. How stupid is this? But anyways, look, if you want to waste your money, go see it. If you don't want to waste your money, save the time, and then, you know, enjoy this review, and just enjoy, if you go see it, as much as you can, because it's horrible. So, ZBC 2001, and I'm out.